Hi everyone, before I start today's video, now there is a possibility that you can talk with me directly. You just have to simply go on www.nikshala.com, book an appointment, and I will get in touch with you directly. Now, sending an email and back and forth can be done, of course, but again, my team members handle all of that. If you want to talk with me directly, please book an appointment on nikshala.com. Alright guys, welcome back once again. I'm sitting here with Suresh. He is a backend developer.
Backend engineer. Yeah.
Backend engineer, and he's here to share his experience of how he got job directly from India. He's been working here since last 5 months.
Since November.
November 2019. We are here to know from you is how was your interview process?
Okay.
What kind of challenges were thrown on your way so that which you cleared very well? And of course he's here in Munich, by the way. I'm in Munich. I'm not sitting in Berlin. That's where I live. But I'm in Munich right now.
Yeah.
Let's go with your introduction quickly, and then we'll dive deep into your interview process and how you got this job.
Okay. Hello guys, my name is Suresh. I'm a resident of Mumbai and I moved to Munich earlier last year, so in the month of October basically. So I started my job in the month of November and I moved a week earlier before that so that I can understand the city a bit. And it's been, I have more than 5 years of experience working as a backend developer. To be precise, I'm a JavaScript engineer. I work on Node.js technologies and I do a bit of DevOps as well, so basically AWS and stuff. So if there is any DevOps guy, he might know what CloudFormation is and stuff. So that's what I work on.
Right.
And that's what I've been working for like more than 5 years. So yeah.
All these 5 years you were working in Mumbai only?
Mumbai, yes.
Okay.
I worked for 3 different companies during the course of 5 years.
Right.
And all of them I was like a backend engineer. So yeah.
Right. And during those 5 years when you were working, did you have a chance to go abroad on site somewhere?
No, not really. No.
This is a first trip abroad.
Exactly. Yeah.
You bam, Munich.
Yes, Munich. Yes.
Okay. Cool. What are your core skills? If some of those technical people are watching you, what are your core skills?
I'm a backend engineer, but typically I work into JavaScript a bit more, Python a bit less. You can say like a starter, but then again, JavaScript is much more my thing. Right. JavaScript, working on APIs and like CloudFormation and stuff. That's what I told you about. So DevOps stuff basically. Right. So setting up the infrastructure, managing the backend side of an application or a big product basically. So that's my thing.
What job portals can they jump on to apply for jobs?
Yeah, so we have 2 main portals that you can use basically. So one is Stack Overflow, like you mentioned in your previous videos.
Yes.
And the other one is LinkedIn basically.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn Premium helps a lot. You can directly reach out to hiring managers and like share your resume and cover letters with them if there is a job that is a visa sponsored job.
Right.
If not, you will be rejected straight away.
Wow.
That happened with me once because I did not read that line which says no applicants outside the EU, and the hiring manager said my profile is good, but then again and the criteria says that we are not hiring outside the EU. So yeah, so that's one thing. You need to keep all these things in mind. And Stack Overflow is a bit of a help because like companies, startups basically upload all their jobs on that portal and like they specify the visa sponsor thing.
Correct.
And those are quite authentic.
Right.
So you can just go forward with that. And if you are applying in Germany, if you're on a job seekers visa, Xing is going to help a lot. It's like the LinkedIn version of Germany. Yeah, so Xing is the main thing if you are in Germany and looking for a job.
Right.
So that'll be easy for you. And there are other portals as well, but honestly, I didn't have any much luck with them.
Where did you get your job from?
Stack Overflow.
Cool, man. Yeah. Walk us through the total rounds of interview you had to go through. Yeah. And what happened in the interview process?
The screening round is basically getting to know basis.
Right.
HR tries to get to know you, your profile, if you fit in there, what technologies do you know, how best you are at it. They ask certain questions, if technical questions.
Okay.
Basics.
Basic.
Yeah, basics. Like, can you get through that? So how confident you are.
Right.
Do you are scared in the first round or like something like that? So you clear that round, it's like 30-45 minutes. And the next round is again with the director.
Second round?
Yeah, but then, second round, yeah.
Okay.
The second round is like your inline manager basically, whom you're gonna report to.
Yeah.
And then he takes your interview, he also checks your skills basically, but on a much more advanced level. Like I work on the Node.js technology, so the thing is, I develop APIs and stuff, and I need to, manage APIs for managing hundreds and thousands of records in the database. So how do I optimize my APIs? How do I make it much more fast, much more scalable? How do I set up infrastructure basically that will enable the user's quick response time? for the APIs that are being used or consumed by the application.
Yeah.
So that's all the stuff that
In the second round.
yeah, in the second round. That's all the questions that were asked from me from the hiring manager side. Once the inline manager is satisfied with the answers that you provide for the during that interview, and if he thinks that okay, you can move forward with the advanced round, so you were selected. Now in my case, I had a small coding test, basically develop an API.
In the second round?
No, that's after the second round.
Okay.
So the inline manager liked my profile, agreed with the answers that I provided for these questions.
It was all verbal communication.
No, it was like a face-to-face, like on Skype.
Okay, on Skype. Okay.
Yeah. So once that round happened, like I was selected and I was provided with the coding round, basically. So
Okay.
which is like you have to code a certain solution for a problem,
Right.
and then send it to them so that they can evaluate the solution that I provide. And
Do you think you can share the problem? What was given to you?
it's like, so I'm a backend developer, so I was asked to develop an API to fetch the results from certain source and like present the result in such a way that I need to merge two. So there's a source and there's an output data that I want to generate. So I had to merge the two data, the data sources, and generate a source of my own and then provide it as a response to the API.
Got it.
So that's what I had to develop, and I created the solution. I had 72 hours to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I developed the solution and then I shared it with them.
Okay.
So but after that it took a bit like 3-4 days for them to respond, because they have to evaluate the solution. If they're satisfied with the solution you have provided, so then comes the higher technical round, which is much more advanced.
Okay.
Yeah, and this round usually lasts for more than 2 hours.
Wow.
Yes.
This was your fourth round now?
Yes, fourth round, yeah. So this was my...
What happened in the fourth round?
I was grilled, basically. I mean, the first thing, like, they discussed my solution, what I did, why I did, and why I chose this. So, like, they were like, why didn't you do this, why didn't you do that? I was like, I had to answer those questions as well. So I explained my solution. I told them why I did not use a second approach.
Right. Your logic behind using certain things.
Exactly, yes. Right. So I went through all of that, and then comes the, first 30 minutes for this, and then the hour and 30 minutes or more than that were like, if you are working on technology, I worked on Node.js, I worked on AWS and stuff, like the infrastructure related technologies. That's what I worked on. So they deep dive into that. Okay. Why is this, why is that, and how it works and so on. What happens if something breaks down and there's something I need to fix? How do you do that? How do you fix something without impacting the users if you're a product company? Okay. The users matter the most, right? Yeah. So if the application is down, why is it down? I mean, if the application is down, we need to figure out why is it down. You need to get it quick, get it up and running as soon as possible. So that's where the questions were like, what if this happens? What if that happens?
Wow. So that went on for 2 hours?
More than 2 hours. So like it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I was sitting still like this.
Okay. And then fifth round was what? Was there a fifth round?
No, that was the last.
That was the final round.
Yeah, and after that the HR scheduled an interview again, just to give me the feedback on what she thinks about my profile and what decision they have made.
And that was positive?
That was positive, yeah. Okay. Fortunately, yes.
Right. Yeah. And when and at what stage did they discuss about salary?
It was the first round. It's always the first round.
Yeah.
The number of interviews that I've given, the salary discussion is the first round.
It's like they always want to know what's your expectation, and if that matches, then you only proceed further.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Right? The profile that I applied for did not advertise the salary, but then again, I quoted the salary in terms of living in Munich. Living a life in Munich.
Right.
So I made my calculations and I quoted the salary, and they were fine with that.
Can you give us a bracket? With 5 years of experience yours,
right?
How much was your quotation there?
Okay, so if you have a bracket, if you don't know what the profile advertises, so if you're planning to Munich, you can say like 60, 70 in between.
60,000 to
70,000 euros, yeah.
Annually, okay.
Annually, you can just quote that, and if the profile is actually going to provide you that salary, they're fine with that.
What's your advice for all those job seekers or anyone who's looking for jobs straight from India?
First thing is get your basics clear. I've met a lot of people who have experience, but their basics are not clear for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, so basics are like data structures, basically like OOPS concepts and stuff. So these are like basics. You need to have them hands-on, and if anyone is like asking you these questions while you're asleep, you need to answer them. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because your basics are like your root of the tree. Right. If they are not strong, you're like... I'm not saying that you're weak as a developer, but then again, the thing is, having basics hands-on is added advantage.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that improves your thinking skills, and then the logic that you provide, it's much more faster.
Right, right. I think the best recipe of clearing any interview in the world is you make a statement, but then support that statement with an example.
Yeah.
Trust me, it goes so good, and people feel then relatable, like, he has an experience.
Yes.
That's how he's given an example. That's all what we have. What I can only say is his solid determination brought him where he is today. And I think if he can do it, definitely you can also. Make sure that you feel confident. And very important point, what he mentioned in every information what he was giving was, get your basics right. Okay, don't think that here in Germany they ask you for one of the most toughest question in the interview. No, they will check your basics. They'll go back to the basics like early days of your career. Okay, start from there, brick by brick, and your confidence automatically then will go high. Okay, be a good team player. Make sure that you fit in the culture. Make sure that you understand the culture. If you've never traveled ever abroad, please at least give them the impression that you can and you know what happens in the office.
Yes.
Talk to experts, reach out to us with whatever help we can do. We'll do that. Thank you so much. Your determination was more like a steel.
Thank you for having me on the channel, Nikhilesh.
And that's all what we have to offer you for now. And if you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
See you guys.